Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Thursday. Oh my gosh, guys, we are in Vegas. We are ready to BravoCon. Um I'm surprised because the hotels are still kind of empty. I feel like everybody's going to be getting in today and tomorrow. Yeah, for sure. But this is about to be insanity. And I'm going to take you guys along for the ride every step of the way. Now, with that, guys, I did want to just go over some things that we didn't get to talk about yesterday since we were flying all day because a lot came out. So we're going to start with the Real Housewives in New Jersey. And of course, later in other videos, I'm going to talk about the Mary documentary, other things that are happening. It's like it's like mayhem. And I wanted to get these stories out now because starting tomorrow, it's going to be headline after headline after headline. So, with that, smash the like button, show some love, and let's jump right in. Okay, guys, so I wanted to start with this. A huge congratulations to Dolores and Paulie. My God, this makes me so happy for Dolores. Now, Dolores and Paulie are finally engaged. Everybody says finally. I actually don't even like saying that. They're engaged. You know, everybody moves at their own pace. So I feel like saying finally is like not the way to say it. But the proposal occurred on November 10th, which was the 4th anniversary of them moving in together. And it took place at an Apple store in New Jersey, the same place where they first met. So Polly presented Dolores with, this engagement ring is massive. It has an 11 carat center diamond plus about 4 additional carats in the setting for a total of like 15 carats is what they're saying, with the band decorated with princess cut diamonds. Oh my gosh. Now, Polly originally bought a different stone early in the relationship, but later changed it after realizing it wasn't in line with what Dolores liked. But the surprise element, it was strong. Dolores said she had no clue. Initially, she thought Polly was having a medical emergency because he was very nervous and he was sweating. And after the proposal, over 1,000 roses were waiting for her at home. And while now they're engaged, I believe they're in no rush to get married. They said that they want to enjoy the moment and not feel pressured. Listen, Jason and I, we stayed engaged for, probably about, I'm going to say probably about like 5 years. It was like the longest engagement ever, like 6 years maybe. Maybe it was even longer than that. Everybody moves at their own pace. Like you don't have to rush into things. And I never really understood when people get engaged and they're like, okay, we have to start planning the wedding right now. Because if I'm going to have it on December 11th of this year, because that is in line with what I want and I need it to be December 11th, that's like bride wars. Like, then that's what we need to do. No, take your time. And by the way, let me just pull up the photos of this ring. This is like magic. So People Magazine covered it. You can see them at the Apple store. Apple should give them a sponsorship. You can see where she's completely surprised, but just look at that diamond. I feel like she needs security to walk around with that freaking thing. That is massive. So again, a huge congratulations to Dolores and Polly. And yeah, we'll be on standby waiting to see when they get married, how they get married, and what that looks like. So congratulations. Moving on. So I also wanted to talk about this because this was in the headlines yesterday. And I saw it. And am I surprised? No. But Margaret Josephs declared that Teresa is dead to her and that they will never be friends again. I think that right now everybody is in an interesting spot, if I had to guess, because Teresa and Louis and Joe and Melissa, they've all refollowed each other. Gia has refollowed Joe, vice versa. While it's amazing to champion family coming back together, I think that some of the other castmates are probably thinking in their head, like, well, what does that mean? Because when Teresa and Melissa and Joe, like when that whole rift happened, people were sort of forced to pick sides. Like, unless you were Dolores didn't really pick sides. She's always been Switzerland, which is something that I love about her. Everybody else was picking sides. And then it's like the same reason that you don't chime in on somebody's relationship when they come to you and they're like, oh my God, like my boyfriend is being an asshole and I'm having a really rough time. And, you know, you always have that friend that's like, don't deal with that. Leave him, you know, and then of course, like they end up repairing their relationship. And then that boyfriend that they were calling an asshole doesn't want you around. Sort of like what happened with Alexia and Todd and Marisol. Marisol even said that on Real Housewives of Miami. She was like, at the end of the day, like, I'm just kind of afraid that if she gets back with Todd, I'm going to lose my friend after everything that I've said about him. And it's a valid concern, you know? But back to it. Oof. This is going to be one that I think it's beyond repair. But at the same time, Margaret clarified that she doesn't wish ill on Teresa's daughters or her family, just that Teresa and Louis personally are out of her life. And that's okay. That's called boundaries. She said that the relationship breakdown stems from repeated conflicts. You know, she claims that Teresa orchestrated some incidents like the hair pulling and the food thrown in Nashville, and that her and, well, Teresa, like they just obviously have had a tumultuous go. And she's given Teresa endless chances, is what she's saying. Now, on the other hand, Teresa defended Louis after he made a controversial comment wishing suffering on Margaret's adult son. And Margaret called the comment disgusting, which it is disgusting. I mean, I don't even think that he had anything to do with anything. So I don't know why you would wish harm or suffering on somebody's child, especially because you wouldn't want anybody to wish that on your child. And that's karma. I believe in karma, you guys. You don't with people's kids, and you also don't wish ill on people. That is not good juju. But there's been a lot of overlapping issues, allegations of Louis contacting Margaret's son, financial concerns about Teresa and Louis' situation, questions of trust, longtime resentments. A lot of things have come up. And I think that, again, this is just, it's so beyond repair at this point. And I'm happy that they can repair their situation as far as like a family. But then I'm wondering if the reports are accurate. Like, do producers really not care? Do producers probably think, well, at this point, like, we've already taken a long pause, so we have a fear of having all of you guys come back on the show and then this happening again. And then what was the pause for when we really could have filmed like 2 more seasons by now? Are you guys just doing it so everybody gets a contract and then you can come back on the show? What is the main motive here? You know, they did have a sit down, all 4 of them, Teresa, Louis, Joe, and Melissa. Who knows? I know that Joe and Melissa, they did speak out in interviews or on their podcast. I forgot which one it was. And they were saying at this moment, it just kind of feels like we are questioning the intention behind it. But the point is now they're moving on. So, okay. I want to hear what you guys think. Again, huge congratulations to Dolores and Paulie. Guys, smash that like button, show some love. And yeah, we'll see you later. Happy BravoCon. Bye, guys.